The other option, and that's what I strongly think that we should do, is to create such a huge pressure on Gaza that Gaza will become an area where people cannot live. People cannot live until Hamas is destroyed, which means that Israel not only stop to supply energies, diesel, water, food, whatever, as we did in the past 20 years. Maybe we were stupid or naive or good enough to do it, but we should prevent any other possible assistance by others, and to create in Gaza such a terrible, unbearable situation that can last weeks and months. It is going to be a very, very long siege until all the water, the food, the energy of Hamas that stored it will run out.
Okay.
And there will be no way that they will be able to live there.
Okay.
Now, in order
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Jordan Report. And I'm your host, Robert Jordan. Everyone, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. All right, guys, it's been about 3 years now since the regime has taken over. And we've watched our borders get blown wide open. Thousands of people coming across every night. The cities have been destroyed to the point where they look like third world and even lower. Now war is on the horizon for the U.S., not just the Israelis. The Israelis been at war. This one just finally found them at home. And that's all this is. It's something followed them home, and it's just payback for a lot of things that they've done. But people, we're joined at the hip with these people. Okay? They're in charge of our government. We've allowed people to convince us that this old, senile old man is responsible for everything that's happening, and he can't even find his shoes in the morning. We got a harsh lesson coming our way, people, because these people are in a lot of trouble, and they can take us down with them.
Mr. Prime Minister, I'm grateful to be back in Israel in this incredibly difficult moment for this nation, but in fact, for the entire world. If you'll permit me, personal aside, I come before you not only as the United States Secretary of State, but also as a Jew. My grandfather, Maurice Blinken, fled pogroms in Russia. My stepfather, Samuel Pizar, survived concentration camps, Auschwitz, Dachau, Majdanek. So, Prime Minister, I understand on a personal level the harrowing echoes that Hamas's massacres carry for Israeli Jews, indeed, for Jews everywhere.
אנחנו מטילים מצור מוחלט על העיר עזה. אין חשמל, אין מזון, אין מים, אין דלק. הכל סגור. אנחנו נלחמים בחיות אדם. That
hit Israel. This should be personal for every woman and man in America. Why? Because when they did this surprise attack, when they took these hostages, when they murdered these families, they were celebrating. And what were they celebrating? They were saying death to Israel, death to America. This is not just an attack on Israel. This is an attack on America because they hate us just as much. And what we have to understand is this is the reason that we have to unite around making sure our enemies do not hurt our friends. America can never be so arrogant to think we don't need friends, just like we needed them on 9/11. That's why Ukraine needs us when Russia's doing this. That's why Israel needs us when Hamas and Iran are doing this. And I'll say this to Prime Minister Netanyahu, finish them. Finish them. Hamas did this. You know Iran's behind it. Finish them. They should have hell to pay for what they've just done.
Texas joins the world in grieving for Israel. Hearts are weeping. They're weeping throughout Israel, but also all across Texas because of the horrific attack on Israel, which must be called what it is. It is an act of war to which Israel has the right of self-defense, for which there is no expiration date on what Israel must do. Today, I issued an executive order prohibiting any state agency in Texas from purchasing anything produced in or exported from the Gaza Strip. Or from purchasing anything produced in or exported from any organization or state actor with ties to Hamas.
All right, guys, let me give you an update on what's going on the ground down in Israel. This is from War News. It says, Russia, everyone get out of Israel. U.S. sends 101st Airborne Division to Jordan. Sees battle on 5 fronts for the IDF. Okay, the U.S. is already on the ground down there, people. But what's going on is Israel's being surrounded. This is a very old plan. This was from General Soleimani's days. The general that Trump assassinated. This was his plan. He was the one who set this thing in motion some years ago. And they're just gonna send group after Israel to surround Israel with missiles and every little thing that they can have and slowly bring Israel down. This is what the plan is. Now, I don't know if they're able to succeed, but that's at least what's in motion right now. But the point is, the U.S. is in fire range right now of a lot of people, especially Hezbollah. They better park those aircraft carriers far away from the coast because Hezbollah can hit them. They have missiles that can take those things out. So we have to be on guard for that. I don't want to see anything like that. I don't want to see us involved in anything over there. This is all Israel's business. But anyway, the U.S. is further strengthening its forces in the Middle East region after sending the aircraft carrier Gerald R. Ford and bolstering air assets in the region. They're also deploying the 101st Airborne Division to Jordan. Additional U.S. sources said Israel would need additional ammunition and missiles. This is why they transferred to his ownership all the American quantities of weapons that are in warehouses in Israel. The United States had stored munitions for themselves in case they needed it in Israel. They just transferred all of it over to Israel. Okay? However, a study by a think tank in Bahrain, where the Fifth Fleet is based, showed that it is possible that Israel will have to fight on 5 fronts. That's what's being set up right now. And so those people, the 101st Airborne, that's based in Jordan right now, they're within range of a lot of people. So you may see casualties coming back our way, people, and very soon. Amid the escalation of the Palestinian-Israel conflict, Washington sent the 101st Airborne, which is the most combat-ready unit of the United States Army, to Jordan. Along with this, sources say the members of the U.S. Special Forces operation arrived in Israel along with CIA operatives. In addition, Washington is sending yet another aircraft carrier to the area of potential hostilities, one of which is already within striking distance of the Lebanese-Israeli border. Okay? So people, Israel dragged us into a war, and it wasn't just Israel, it's the Jews that run our country. That's their brothers over there, and they're in trouble. And so this is what we're seeing, people. We're going to pay dearly for allowing these people to take over this country.
I mean, the images that we're seeing of children kidnapped, of young women who have been abducted, who have blood in their pants because they've presumably been repeatedly raped. It's horrifying. There's been a lot of death and destruction in that region, but I've never seen anything like this.
I'm sorry. It's very, excuse me, very difficult to look at these images, Jake, and the human cost. And these are human beings. They're family members, their friends, their loved ones, cousins, brothers, sisters. Yeah, it's difficult, and I apologize.
Nothing to say sorry for.
All right, America. Let's hope this is not your fate. If you remember the country called Ukraine, they started this war. The people that are in trouble now started this war and initiated this war. The Blinkens, the Netanyahus, all the people that are in trouble now started the war in Ukraine. Gave them all the weapons that they wanted, just like they just gave Israel all these weapons. And they still got 500,000 people killed. So let's hope this is not your fate, because they will burn you up. They have no value on you whatsoever. They'll destroy the U.S. military. They don't care. It's not their military. And they're going to do anything they can to save themselves. So good luck for those people that are going over there in the middle of all this stuff, because you're going to need it.
I just want to say this to our Christian friends, you know, just to call it as it is and say it straight out, you know, you guys are worshiping one Jew. That's a mistake. You should be worshiping every single one of us, because we all die for your sins every single day. And that's exactly what's going on here. Yeah. We're all God's firstborn. We're dying for your sins right now because the Jewish people in the land of Israel are the bulwark against the orcs. Okay? The orcs are coming not to a theater near you, but to your home.